Hey guys, what's up? My name is Tom Spark, and today we're taking a look at another YouTuber's video. Mitch's Palace made this video. It's called "Do I Need a VPN? No, and Here's Why." So we're going to talk about some of the problems I have with this video, and if this guy knows what he's talking about. I do see some people on YouTube saying you don't need a VPN, and explaining why. So I'm going to try to take a look at this video and explain why some of these reasonings might be indeed false. Let's take a look right now.
For a long time, I've seen YouTube video after YouTube video telling you to go get a VPN. VPNs are all right. VPNs do what you want. They add a measure of security that you don't currently have.
It's true.
What none of these people tell you about your VPN is that they have complete records of every place you've gone, everything you've done.
So this is not true. Depending on the VPN that you pick, of course, with anything, some VPNs do indeed keep logs. Some VPNs that are free not only keep logs, but they sell it to other third parties. You really just got to be vigilant in picking the right VPN. Now, even some VPNs do collect logs when they say they don't. IPVanish was recently caught doing this. A pretty reputable VPN, actually. But as we go on later in this video, this guy is going to start talking about how a smart DNS kind of option is actually more secure than a VPN, which is simply not true. This guy's main reasoning is that with a VPN, no matter what you're doing, when it comes to a court order or something like that, they have to give up logs. In a lot of cases, this is true. But again, guys, when this happens, usually even with something like IPVanish, it's not because people are using Kodi or using VPNs to unblock Netflix content. And that's actually completely legal. So in no circumstance would that ever be taken to court if you're using a VPN to unblock geo restrictions. Now, even if you're using a VPN with something like Kodi to watch free content that's copyright protected, or using a VPN to torrent, it's never really going to be taken to court for this VPN company, or really any VPN company really at all. Chances are, if you're just torrenting and streaming and stuff like that with your VPN, you're going to be 100% completely safe, even though this guy who doesn't know how to spell security says you won't be. Now, if you're a terrorist or spreading around child porn or something like that, I can't guarantee 100% maybe that, with every VPN out there, you're going to be safe. It really just depends on the VPN. But anyways, if you are spreading child porn around or a terrorist, you probably should be going to jail anyways. However, again, guys, when VPNs give up information, even on criminals and stuff like that, it sets a bad precedent, showing that they do collect logs. Anyways, in summation, already at the beginning of this video, VPNs are 100% secure for geo unblocking content like Kodi or any other platform. This guy says they aren't, but there we go.
In most cases, they do purge those databases on occasion, sometimes every...
Right here he talks about logs and stuff like that. But again, guys, if you pick the right VPN, they're not going to collect any logs, especially not for streaming content.
month, sometimes every quarter. It all depends on the amount of data that they've collected and whether they want a free space on their server. What most of these people won't tell you about a VPN is that if a court order landed at their front door and said, provide us all of the data that you have regarding your subscribers and where they've been.
Again, no company is going to go to a VPN and request information about people using Kodi or Netflix or something like that with a VPN. Homeland Security might if there's a suspected child porn person, but again, not every VPN is actually going to be able to give up that information because they don't collect logs.
That data is going to be frozen on the computer, and your week's worth or 3 weeks worth or 6 weeks worth of browsing is going to be turned over by that court order. So, is a VPN 100% secure?
Yes, especially if you're just streaming with it.
Primary answer is yes. But the secondary answer, because of the data files that are kept, is no, because the court can release those documents, those data files.
It's never going to happen.
Is there another way? Well,
Yes.
You're probably wondering,
Kinda.
am I going to make money off of selling you another product?
So the rest of this video, pretty much the rest of the 8 minutes, he just spends talking about Unblocker as a better alternative VPN. Now, my main problem with this argument is that VPNs and unblocker tools that basically use smart DNS options aren't really the same thing at all. Now, both of them have their use cases in some ways. This guy's argument is that a smart DNS option is more secure than a VPN, which is just simply false. He says, they purge their logs every 5 minutes. So I don't really know what he's talking about there. With a smart DNS option, you're not going to have your IP changed. You're not going to have any encryption, so it's not really secure at all. The really thing you're only going to want to use these smart DNS options for is they change your DNS from your ISP, so when you go to a website, it's not going to be able to detect what location you're in. They're still going to be able to see your IP though. None of your traffic is going to be encrypted, so if you're using a smart DNS option to watch illegal content on Kodi, your IP address can very well be found out. Not only that, but your encryption is not going to be available either. So it's not really a secure option. Is it fast? Well, it is a fast option. But again, guys, it's a different product than a VPN. VPNs aren't really supposed to be super fast. They're supposed to be workable with the best security around. Now, depending on the VPN you pick, you could actually get a VPN that's pretty fast. You can also find a smart DNS option that's pretty slow. And a lot of smart DNS options actually don't work that well with Amazon or Netflix or some of these services, which have gotten pretty restrictive with how how they detect DNS options and stuff like that. Not only that, guys, but there's also ways for internet service providers that control your DNS to actually force your real DNS on you. So it's not going to really work with a smart DNS option.
No, I'm not. I'm not providing you a link.
Another thing I want to mention, guys, is that this guy's whole video is advertising for Unblocker, but he's not providing a link, which means he's not an affiliate. But I find that this total transparency is a little confusing because maybe he's just trying to make this money, make his money with ad revenue, which is entirely possible. But this video could also very well be an undisclosed sponsorship deal. The amount of time he spends recommending Unblocker, as well as his total commitment to it, and actually blatantly kind of lying to users about how secure it is a little bit suspect for me.
Link so that I get a 3% commission on everything that you buy. I will tell you the link so that you can go of your own volition.
He doesn't actually provide the link to this website or service he's recommended here actually. So I mean, he doesn't even provide the link, affiliate or otherwise. He just shows you on the video.
With no worry that Mitch did this because he wanted to make a few dollars. As I've told everyone, I am doing this.
Again, he is telling you about this product, even if he doesn't have a disclosed undisclosed sponsorship deal, even if he's not an affiliate. He is making money from this video with ads and stuff like that. So he is making money telling you about this product, whether he's making money specifically from the company or not.
This because I enjoy the Kodi experience. I have had fun cutting the cord and saving money, and I'm just trying to help others who would like to do the same thing.
Of course it's fun to get free copyright protected content and not having to spend money, right?
All right, when it comes to a VPN, what's everybody's biggest downfall?
So again, guys, I have a problem with this because he's comparing VPNs to smart DNS options. Of course there's going to be some cons. Of course it's going to be slower. It's a different product entirely. Smart DNS options do not provide encryption. Of course it's going to be faster. Of course.
Through that server vary, depending on time of day and amount of traffic. Is there a better way? And the answer is yes. What an unblocker does and what they advertise is a little bit different than what it actually does for you.
It's funny because he mentions this, but he never clarifies on that point.
What an unblocker does, instead of providing that network for you to transfer data through, all they're going to do is tell the internet that you are someone you're not. What they're going to do, the way those addresses are stored on your servers when you access one, is it's a number. That number is changed every time you go out for access with Unblocker. Now why do they call it Unblocker if what they're really doing is offering security in surfing? Well, the reason is if you are in the United States and let's say there's certain data that you're not allowed to have, well, Unblocker will automatically give it a number that makes it okay for you to have that data. If you're in the UK and some sites won't allow you to download video.
One problem I have with this video is that I feel like he's intentionally being vague, or maybe just to understand the technology. He keeps referencing a number. He doesn't really specify if it's changing your IP address or your DNS. Your domain name service is completely different from an IP address, and he's not really specific to what these services are changing. Not only that, guys, but his main argument seems to be that Unblocker is secure and 100% private, and it's just simply not true. They don't assign you a new IP address, and it doesn't provide you any encryption.
Videos or see streams. Again, Unblocker has automatically searched that site, knows that where you're at, it's not going to be accepted, and it gives that site a number somewhere else.
That's true. The way these unblocking smart DNS options work, so they have a specific category of websites that people have problems accessing, and then when you go to this website, it assigns you a new DNS that should theoretically allow you to get around the restrictions. Again, it depends on the smart DNS option that you're using. Unblocker isn't really one I've tested too much, but it's not as popular as some other options out there. Maybe at the end of this video, I'll go over some options that I've found maybe that could work well.
So that you can gain access. Can that be done with a VPN? Sure. If you want to shut down your Kodi, bring up your VPN, your IPVanish, or whatever you're using.
Sure, it might take more work to load a VPN to get the same results. Not only that, but you're actually going to be more secure to watch content on Kodi. If you don't want to be, send letters in the mail from your IP address, or have your traffic read, then yeah, it is a better option. It's going to be a little bit slower. Well, maybe, depending on the VPN, of course.
Then change the country and change the.
By the way, it's not that hard to use a VPN compared to smart DNS options. I would say they have about the same level of configuration required to get it working. Smart DNS options are pretty good to use on your PS4 or something like that, or a streaming device. But a lot of streaming devices, like Apple, or some Apple products do have app stores with VPNs that work. Not only that, some Amazon products have services like ExpressVPN, which could work to unblock content. So it's not only that, but some Android boxes even have VPN apps that work to unblock content. So it's not as hard as he makes it seem out to be. Maybe on the PS4 or something, or the Xbox, you might need to get a VPN router, something like that. So smart DNS option could be good for those specific devices, but again, it's not as bad as he makes it seem out to be.
Individual server that you're going to attach to, and then go through the problems of, oh, that's a slow one, I can't stream any data. What Unblocker does is it provides that service automatically. Every time you pull down a stream, you're pulling it from the internet just as if you would, as if there was no VPN, and yet
It's true. The way they work is it's not a VPN. Again, that's my point. These smart DNS options are completely separate from VPNs, so that's why it's completely different.
The providing data server is going to get an IP address that is not yours.
Well, it's a little unclear here. So the way he's saying is that you're going to have a different IP address. Well, it's not really true. You're going to have like a different DNS that allows you to look at these streaming sites.
What better way to stay secure and have fast speeds unaffected by VPNs, but still be 100% secure? Now you're probably asking, well, wait a minute, don't they have data files? They tell you that.
His main thing is that, he actually goes to say that smart DNS options are more secure than VPNs, which is a load of baloney. He's saying that, Unblocker, for example, only keeps logs for 5 minutes and then they purge them, where some VPNs don't keep logs at all. Not only that, guys, but again, smart DNS options are not going to be super secure. They're not really security tools. They're just ways to get around geo restrictions. And he just kind of keeps talking about this idea.
They scrub those data files every 5 minutes. That is not actually true. The way this technology works is it's a lot like Snapchat. You go to Snapchat, you put in a tweet, and unlike Twitter, where it stays forever, at Snapchat it just disappears. The same thing here. if a court order were to come in to provide data, they're going to be able to take longer than 5 minutes to go pull up those data files. And guess what? There's nothing there. As a result, there is no long 1 week, 3 week, 6 week, 8 week period that the courts can grab. So it's 100% secure. You don't fight VPN. It's available on a variety of different platforms.
So one thing I do want to mention, guys, here, his analogy is kind of weird. He's using Snapchat as an example of how snaps, when a user sends a snap to somebody, of course it does disappear. But actually Snapchat, there really isn't really too much information about how they handle your pictures. I don't think Snapchat, the company, actually ever deletes the pictures that get sent. So there could be a huge database of all these nudes and things you're sending to people with Snapchat having access to them, but maybe the users don't. So again, a little bit of a flawed analogy.
You can put it into your Windows, and as a result, Windows will be more secure.
No.
But at the same time, you're going to be surfing, you're going to be getting movies without any troubles whatsoever. Dollars in US.
His argument here is that a lot of smart DNS options are cheaper than VPN. For the most part, this is true. These smart DNS plans go for around $3 to $6 a month, maybe $30 a year, something like that. But again, you could find VPNs, and some VPNs are comparable in price, so maybe a little bit more expensive. But again, a different product. VPN, you're going to have a lot more usability with it in terms of actually changing your IP to an anonymous IP, as well as that encryption, which is going to be really good for torrenting or staying secure in public Wi-Fi hotspot places. Or if you're around the world trying to get around censorship, changing your IP is going to ensure you stay protected. And, in some places it's even illegal to change your, get access to unblocked content. So you might have to, in places like Egypt or Russia or China or stuff like that, they don't want you unblocking content. So you're really going to need to stay secure while doing so. And a smart DNS option is never going to give you that security. Despite what this website claims, despite what this guy claims, smart DNS options do not provide security, whereas VPNs do. That's my main conclusion here, guys, that I want to come away from this video. So do you need a VPN? I would say yes, and here's why. They provide a lot of security, whereas smart DNS options don't really provide any security. Can they work for streaming? Well, depending on the smart DNS option, yes. Can VPNs work for streaming? Yes. I would say that VPNs are a one-stop shop kind of package in terms of security and stuff like that for streaming as well, whereas smart DNS options are for someone who doesn't care about any security and just wants some fast streaming, geo unblocking, or get around those restrictions. Alright guys, thanks for checking out this video. I'll put a link to my favorite VPN in the description, as well as a smart DNS option I think would work well for you. Not necessarily saying that unblocker is a good option anyway.
$20